and the truth will deliver you from procrastination and laziness and the downward spiral that comes with a lack of discipline.
The most inspired, motivated person wins. Nah, not really. It's the person who can work on the days they're not inspired and motivated. It's what do you do when you're not feeling great?
You gotta get sick and tired of defeat. Aren't you tired of getting beat? Aren't you tired of being on the losing end?
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference. Now, I started the Believe Life series to once a week tackle topics that are outside the world of just hardcore entrepreneurship and business. So to help you live your best Believe life today, we're going to look at how you can end procrastination. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, deal with stress with Mel Robbins.
I'm about to change your life because this piece of research changed mine. Procrastination has nothing to do with work. The people that write to us the most that struggle with procrastinating, PhD students, engineers, entrepreneurs, people that have a lot on their plate, that have a lot of things that they need to juggle, and that are analytical and thinkers by nature. Procrastination is a form of stress relief. What are you stressed about?
I want to get out of this business of real estate. I want to retire in the next 5 years, and I can't because I have not saved up. I have not gotten the money that I need to do that.
Bingo, and it makes you upset, doesn't it? Yeah. How many of you can relate to that? She said that what's stressing her out is she wants to retire. She hasn't saved up enough money. What's really stressing you out is finances and money and the fear that you have. What happens when you struggle with procrastinating, and thank you for being so honest, there's that stresses you out. Maybe you feel the same way. I mean, we felt that way. I know exactly what you're talking about. You carry around this dark cloud because you don't think you're gonna make it and you're stressed about money all the time. Or maybe your mom's health is declining and that really stresses you out. Or maybe your best friends are going through a divorce or you're going through a divorce and that really stresses you out. And so you walk around with this big ass thing on your shoulders all the time. And then you walk into work and you sit down and you've got a list of phone calls to make, which requires your prefrontal cortex. And your prefrontal cortex looks at the list and is like, oh my God, you want me to make 15 phone calls? I've been worried about the money all day. Can we just look at cat videos? I need a break. And next thing you know, 2 hours is gone. You've been online shopping, you've been looking at cat videos. And then of course you look at the 15 phone calls, you're like, I didn't make them. The research on procrastination is undeniable. It's black and white. Number 1. All of you that procrastinate, procrastination's not the issue, it's stress. You're procrastinating to give yourself a little break at work. It's sort of like taking a smoking break almost, you know? You're just taking a break. So number 1, because you're all stressed out and procrastinators are very hard on yourselves, this is gonna sound super stupid, but you gotta forgive yourself. You have got to actually have a talk with yourself where you feel yourself starting to procrastinate, you go, look, I know I really screwed up. I know I'm in a mess financially. I forgive myself. I'm just gonna do the best that I can. So you have to address the thing that's underneath it. So that self-awareness of knowing, oh my God, here's that stress again about finances screwing me over and preventing me from doing the small things that will actually fix my finances. Second thing that you're gonna do, procrastination's a habit, right? You get triggered by stress, the habit is to procrastinate. So when you get triggered by stress, your new habit is, oh, there's my stress again. I'm gonna actually tell myself, okay, you've done the best you can. It's okay, we're gonna do a little bit today. You're gonna create what we call starting ritual. A starting ritual is something that pushes you to start. The best one on the planet, the 5-second rule. So you've said, okay, there's my stress again. I forgive myself. Now we're gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to only work for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. Make phone calls for 5 minutes. Here's what we know based on the research. 80% of you will keep going. The trick is starting. You see, I want to break the connection between the trigger, which is stress, and the response, which is procrastination. And whenever you feel stress, which is normal, you have a choice. Here's that gap. In 5 seconds flat, the habit of procrastinating and beating yourself up will take over. Or you can close the gap, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can make a different choice. I'm just going to get started. I'm just going to be okay with where I'm at, and I'm just going to get started. Got it? Good.
Rule number 2, cast out the lies with Jocko Willink.
The chronic excuse maker. How do you stop making excuses? This is actually pretty simple. And I said it the other day, and you have to realize, you have to know, you have to accept that all your excuses are lies. They are lies, all of them. Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. Taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind. Think about them. You don't have time. That's a lie. You don't have support. That's a lie. You don't have the equipment or the gear. Lies. You don't know the best way. Who cares? That's a lie. Or you're too old or you're too young. Of course you're too old or too young. Lie. And there's you're too busy. Sure you are. That's a lie. And you're too tired or you're too sore or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies, lies, lies. And the list goes on and on and on. And it doesn't stop if you don't make it stop. So recognize the excuses are not valid. They aren't. They're trumped up. They're conjured up. They're fabricated. They're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. The truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will stand, and the truth will deliver you from procrastination and laziness and the downward spiral that comes with a lack of discipline. So don't believe the lies, believe the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done. So cast out the lies, burn them down, and listen to the truth, and live the truth, and go out and get it done.
Rule number 3, have a vision with Jordan B. Peterson.
One of the things that can help you stop procrastinating, well, let's say 2 things. I referred to them at the end of my talk. One is to have a really nicely developed vision of heaven. It's like, okay, here's what you need to know. How would your life be? What would it be like if it was really good? And I don't get primitive about that. It's not like, naked supermodels on a yacht. They're too skinny anyways. Anyways, you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's not agape, say. So it's not sophisticated enough to be self-sustaining. It's a stupid vision, and if you pursue it, you're just going to be on a sinking yacht with like anorexics or something like that. So you need a vision. You need a vision of what your life would be like if it was just the way it should be, if it was best for you, and if you were taking care of yourself with this thing that you kind of described as parental love. Which is a really good way of thinking about it because it's nice and concrete. So what would be best for you 3 to 5 years down the road if you were really taking care of yourself like you were someone that you thought should be around? And people are very ambivalent about whether they should be around, so this is a lot harder than you think. So you need that vision. And then what you also need is a vision of what your life would be like if you let yourself deteriorate in precisely the foolish ways that you know that you would deteriorate if you let yourself go. And that's contemplation too. It's like, okay, if I let myself go, where would I end up? And first of all, this is kind of a shadow realization from a Jungian perspective. It's like, first of all, you could let yourself go. Second of all, you already know exactly how you do it if you did do it. And third, with a little imagination, you can conjure up exactly what that would be like, not only for you, but for your family and for the broader social community. And that would be the whole bloody catastrophe, including all the malevolence that would go along with your deterioration and so on. And so then you've got these stark choices before you. One is agape-oriented equilibration, for lack of a better technical phrase, and the other is something that more closely approximates hell than people even think, because if you sink low enough, not only do you sink that low, but you are absolutely motivated to drag people down there with you. And it's a nasty, nasty state of affairs. And so if you're really terrified of that, like you should be, because you've drawn the causal connections, and you're really attracted by the other, then when you sit down and you don't do what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing, you don't get to say, well, it doesn't matter. And that's the salience landscape issue. It's like, no, no, no. The little voice in the back of your head that says it matters, it sees those outcomes down into the future, and it's telling you that it matters. And if you would like the positive outcome over the negative outcome, which is, like I said, your constant choice, you bloody well better sit down and do what you're supposed to. And so that's really helpful. That'll, I think, you know, what is it? Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. It's like, yes, that's absolutely right. And the role of things like anxiety and terror in promoting proper development, well, are often under-addressed, because we think of those things as our enemies. It's like, they're your enemies if they're working against you, but they're pretty powerful monsters on your side if you've got them oriented properly.
Rule number 4, create an environment of total focus with Robin Sharma.
Your environment is so important. And if you look at B performers or C producers, they really don't pay a lot of attention to their environment. And so they get very distracted. There's lots of noises, their phones are going off, maybe there's news in the background, maybe there's messy environments all around them, maybe there's toxic people. What I'm suggesting to you as the second piece of technology to really 100 times your productivity is this: install environments of tight bubbles of total focus. The way I run my work life, on certain days, I am very hard to reach. And I challenge you with great love and respect, be very hard to reach during key times of your week. I mean, I see a lot of people, and it's not judging them, it's just observing them. Every time their phone rings, they check it. Or they have, these loud notifications, so they're constantly being distracted. And we know what the research says. The research says we spend 2.1 hours a day in distraction. And it takes 21 minutes to refocus your focus after you've been distracted. So if you are being distracted by notifications, checking your phone, checking your Twitter feed, checking your Facebook feed, looking on Instagram, checking all the different platforms, that is going to destroy your focus. So the second piece of technology is create these tight bubbles of total focus. And the way I do it is I have certain days that I label as creative days. And on those creative days, I actually go device free. And on those days, I'm very hard to find. And on those days, I'm in total solitude. And on those days, I go to certain places. I call them my Menlo labs, just like Edison had his Menlo lab. And these places are very minimalist, and there's no one there. And that's where I do my best work. So install these tight bubbles of total focus and create these Menlo labs where you're completely distraction free. And then you will find your brain will drop from the beta state into the alpha state, where you will do your best work and get your best ideas.
Rule number 5, rely on your habits with Ed Milet.
Here's the thing that I get asked all the time. How did you stay motivated all the time? People ask me that all the time. And the answer is, I didn't. And neither did you to become successful. The separator in life is really important. People think the most inspired, motivated person wins. Nah, not really. It's the person who can work on the days they're not inspired and motivated. It's what do you do when you're not feeling great? What do you do when it's not your best day? How do you do that? Carries you through is rituals and habits. So when you're fatigued, when you're tired, when you're under pressure, you react reflexively. And so successful people rely on habits and rituals, not just their inspiration and motivation level. Of course, we're both professionals at being motivated and inspired. But that's not every day, every minute. And so what do? I work on the days because my habits and rituals carry me through. And so for me, here's how I look at my life and my day. If I can control the first 30 minutes of my day, and the last 30 minutes of my day, I have a whole lot better chance of the middle of my day being controlled. And so I'm a freak about the first 30 minutes of every day. It's really about the first 45 minutes, and I'm obsessive about the last 45 minutes of every single day. That gives me some illusion in my mind and measure of control. The other thing it does, it delivers to me habits and rituals that serve me, that I do every day that are consistent. It gives me comfort in stormy times. That ocean out there is raging at the top right now, right? The waves are crashing. At the bottom of that ocean, it's completely calm. At the bottom of that ocean is the habitual part of the water, right? It's the part of the water that stays the most consistent. That's why it's so calm, okay? So when you see someone out of control, their emotions are up and down all the time. This is someone who is without rituals and habits. Successful people have those, and so they do. And so it keeps me calm, it keeps me comfortable.
And rule number 6, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is get up with Eric Thomas.
You better hear what I'm telling you, my final one. You gotta get sick and tired of defeat. Aren't you tired of getting beat? Aren't you tired of being on the losing end? I want you to know what it feels like to finish something. I can't explain to y'all. My life has gone to a whole other level. When I finished that 4-year degree, when I finished that master's degree, when I finished my book, can I explain to you how my life has changed in just 1 month? The fact that people know I'm finished with the book. I'm getting engagements that I never got before. I got companies calling me that never called me before. Not because I finished the book, but because I finished something. They see me as a person that follows through. And I want you to know, when I used to feel defeat, it felt bad. But there's a total different feeling when you accomplish stuff. You got a different level of credibility from people. People see you different. People are willing to do things for you that they've never done before. You have credibility that you never had before. And so I encourage you, follow through. Finish. Yo, it's your boy E.T. Listen to me, you heard what I told you before. I told you in the last episode when my aunt died. Listen to me, I just buried my aunt. All right, I just buried my aunt a couple days ago. But sometimes in life, it's a time and season for all. But then you gotta get up. Your wife died, get up. You got a divorce, get up. You failed a test, get up. You got kicked out of college on academic probation, get up. Get up, right? Forget the past, because that's exactly what it is, the past. And make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Now I've got a really special bonus message with Cindy Trim on how to focus on your goals that I think you're really going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know whose message resonated with you more, Mel Robbins or Eric Thomas? Let me know, leave in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself, and whatever your one word is, much love. I'll see you soon, and enjoy the bonus clip.
Stop procrastinating. Focus on your goals. When you focus on what you want, what you don't want automatically leaves your life. Don't focus on eliminating anything. Focus on creating what you want. So you're either going to spend all your energies eliminating what you don't want, or you spend your energies creating what you want. We all have alibis. We're all busy. Busy doing what? I'm going to challenge you. Stay focused on your goals. And if you don't have goals, write your goals. One of the greatest enemies of fulfillment of purpose is procrastination and broken focus. If you start now and you say 365 days from today's date, this is what I want to accomplish, and you do one a day, Paul said, focus. This one thing I do, I'm focusing. You do one a day. At the end of 1 year, you will have made 365 steps towards fulfillment of purpose. Who is not going to be successful at the end of their life? Who's not going to be prosperous at the end of their life if they could fulfill that?
If you tell yourself a story long enough, you start to believe it. And once you believe it, you act like it.
I have tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now you know I'm bad. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
The fundamental key to success is
It can take between 18 and 254 days of taking action for a new habit to stick. I've created a new course called 254 Confidence, where every single day for 254 days, I will be sending you a video between 30 seconds and 5 minutes long that you start your morning with around making you feel confident. It's absolutely free. Check out the link in the description below to get access.